Hello and welcome to Multiplying Fractions, learning how to rearrange and simplify first instead of last. What are these Jolly Ranchers doing here? Well, we'll get back to that in a minute. But first, I need to remind you, when you're multiplying fractions, most people were taught from a very young age to do something like this, which is multiply straight across, like the 4 times 3, and then put that on top of multiplying the bottom straight across, right? That looks familiar, doesn't it? And then you get numbers, and sometimes they're big, and then you have to simplify or reduce. And in this case, we'd go, oh, we could divide both of those by 12. So sometimes you have to have really good mental math skills, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 or more steps to do that, and we get the answer. That's the old way. Okay, that is how you do it if you are a highly trained robot. And we don't want robots. We want people with critical thinking skills that can find different ways to solve problems. So if that looks like too much work to get such a simple answer, first we need to get these Jolly Ranchers back out here. If you're interested in a new way, stay tuned. If you want to keep being a robot, turn this off and watch some other video, please. Here we go. All right, so what do you have here? You have 3 4 times, right? You have 3 4 times. Okay? Now, what if I do this? Now what do you have? You have 4 3 times. But I didn't move anything, right? I still have 12. You can easily see that. Would you agree with that? If you don't agree with that, you should now shut off the video, even if you're not a robot. If you don't think 3 times 4 is the same as 4 times 3, we're not going to get very far. This is called commutativity. Okay, and that just means order doesn't matter. And it works when you're multiplying or adding, as we just demonstrated with multiplying. So let's take this same old problem up here that we started with. And if you're not a robot and you're trying to find a new way to solve a problem, you could rearrange. Meaning, I can change that to 3 over 3 times 4 over 8. Oh, and then once you rearrange, maybe you can see something like 3 over 3 is the same as 1, and 4 over 8 is the same as 1/2, and then your answer is 1/2. That is so much easier to do just by rearranging things and simplifying first instead of last. You don't have to deal with big numbers and lots of steps. Simplify first. Because what is simplifying? What is simplifying? Why can I do that first instead of last? Why doesn't order matter when simplifying? Well, if you remember our definition of commutativity, it's because simplifying is multiplying. That's why, when we took our original answer and simplified, you might have thought you were dividing by 12, but what you were really doing was multiplying by a fraction, 1/12, to get the answer. Excuse me. So we're multiplying, and since order doesn't matter when you're multiplying, order doesn't matter when you're simplifying. Wow, that is cool. Let's do an example or two, and then you can get on with your life. How's that sound? All right. How about, I don't know. This looks like fun. Okay, so if your first goal is to rearrange, we're looking for patterns here, looking for numbers that we can simplify. So I'm going to change this to 10 over 5 times 2/4. What patterns do you see here? Well, I know 10 divided by 5 is 2. I know 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Ooh, there's another pattern. I know, you already see the answer, right? But a whole number is still a fraction. If you're looking to do this simplifying, 2 is really the same as 2/1, right? So if I do this and rearrange one more time, wow, that's easy to see, isn't it? Look for that. So sometimes when you get a whole number and the answer is not really clear to you, rearrange that. Put the 1 on the bottom, okay? So this was easy. 2/5 times 10/4, 2. No simplifying needed, right? We did it all. We just rearranged stuff and did it right there. Now you might be saying, wow, that is so cool. You just changed my life forever. Well, you're welcome. But I really didn't. But you might also be asking, hey, does this work with mixed numbers? This is so cool. I want to use it all the time. And the answer is yes, of course it does. So here's an example. Well, the first thing you need to do is change them to improper fractions. So we have 5 times 3 plus 1, and 4 times 5 plus 1. Then we're going to rearrange. Oh, I see a pattern. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And the answer is 28. There it is. Sorry to give you so much mystery. Okay, 28. So you can imagine this might have been a real ugly thing to get if you would have just multiplied straight across and it would have been some huge number on top of 12. That is ugly. We don't want that. This is nice and simple. We don't need to know anything other than math facts that come right off of your multiplication table. No calculator needed. Let's do one more example. You probably shut it off by now, so it's just me doing this video. But that's okay. If you want to come back, check it out. 5 times 4 plus 2, and 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. All right, that looks kind of big. So we're going to rearrange. 22 divided by 2 is 11. 15 divided by 5 is 3. The answer is 33. We rearrange, then simplify first, since it's commutative. And hey, this won't always work, by the way, in case you thought this is the solution to all your problems. Doesn't always work, but look for it. Right? You're not a robot, and now that you know this shortcut that can work sometimes, get in the habit of rearranging things and looking at problems in a different way. And sometimes you can find a little shortcut that's going to get you there faster with less math and fewer steps. And I think that's a good thing. Let's do an example here with a whole number and a mixed number. Okay? 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2 is 20. And then 9, remember, a whole number is the same as a whole number over 1. See, if we rearrange these, that's just the same as 3 times 20, which is 60. So easy. We took this problem and got straight to the answer. We only needed to know very simple math facts. And I have room on the page for one more. I'm going to change to orange because Halloween's coming up in a couple days. Ooh, this is nice. Can you see that? Probably not. Okay. So I'm going to change the 6 to a 6 on top of a 1. 6 times 4 plus 1 is 25 over 6. Now, if you get trained how to do this and you're comfortable with it, you can see these things happening ahead of time. Like right here, I can see the answer is going to be 25 because when I rearrange, I've got 6 over 6, which is 1, and I've got 25 over 1. 1 times 25. All right, that's it. I've hit my 10-minute limit. That's too long of a video, but you're probably not watching anymore, so that's okay. And there. Hey, thanks for watching. See you later. Subscribe to Witcher Math and